Hi girl, so you want to come to France, grab a pen and paper, grab your notes app, concentrate, because I'm about to give you gold. So, how I came to France the first time. I was an au pair and I didn't go about this route in an average way. I didn't look for families. And okay, first of all, what is an au pair? An au pair is a young person between the ages of 18 to 30 that helps out a family with their kids, with the household in exchange for housing. That is it. And then you do get money, but it's more like pocket money, because if it was actually a payment, then people abroad wouldn't need au pairs. They need au pairs because it is cheaper to get an au pair. So one day I was in class. This was when I was in high school, and one of our teachers had a friend who wanted an au pair. I had no idea about that time what an au pair was, and I'm guessing many people didn't know because no one really took part in it. So then she asked us to apply to her, to go to her, and she would talk to us about it. And I think it was just about 4 girls out of like 100 and something people that had been told about this. So I was like, you know what, let me go. I didn't even research about it. And then she was telling us, and I did a little bit more research, and I was being told, you're gonna go to France, blah blah blah, exchanging cultures and stuff like that. And I was just really interested. So I started writing a motivational letter why they should pick me, and I really put my heart and soul into it. It wasn't just something I just like did it out of luck. I really wanted to go, and that was one of my goals. And that is one thing that you really need to understand. You need to want and really ask yourself why you want to go overseas. It's not just oh, I see people, the aesthetics. No, it's like a life-changing thing. You are changing your entire life. So I really wanted that. I wanted to change my environment. So therefore I applied, putting my heart and soul. And later on, the 3 finalist girls, I guess, we got an interview with the lady. I was very outspoken, I did my thing, I was talking. And then at the end, I was selected, and I was really happy. And I hadn't told my parents about this. They had no idea what au pairing is. And I told my parents, I was like, hi, so I got accepted to go to France. And it was really like, because my parents they didn't know, they didn't know if they could trust this person. It's a very new thing. So this was back in 2019, by the way. And then I told them and prayed about it, and my mom was very encouraging, and my dad as well. My dad just really wanted to know like the intimate details of who this family is. They're taking my daughter out, to a new country. He really wanted to know all that. So we set up a meeting where we could all talk, with my teacher there. So this was to just reassure my parents that this is a legitimate thing, it's happening. After that, I got the contract from the family. I got to speak to the mom, and she told me about her family, blah blah blah. We got in exchanging, and now it was time to apply for the visa. And then my teacher helped me, and my mom as well would go to the consulate, and that is a point that I'm gonna point out later on. We got to the consulate. The people, they were so friendly. They helped us to apply online, and what I needed was the money for the ticket. And my mom had to use her entire bonus money, like December bonus. She used all of it for my ticket, and we had to get a return ticket as well. And back then it was about 5,000 for a flight to Cape Town to France, one way. So 2 ways, it ended up being like 11,000, something like that. And for our family, that was a lot of money. Might not be for you, but like it's quite a lot of money. So not only that, we also had to pay for the visa fee, of which it wasn't that much. I think it was like 1.9 thousand rand. We had to pay for insurance as well. I needed insurance for at least 3 months, and then after that, because my contract was 6 months as an au pair, and then I'll go back to South Africa. So I paid for 3 things. Now we got the ticket, we got the visa, we got the insurance. That's all I needed to pay, and all that, I think it came to about 17,000. My parents had to work hard. I had no money, I wasn't working, and they helped me, and I got my visa. And then 2020 January, I went to France. Everything, I had my visa. It was for 8 months. So they don't give you like specifically like the exact amount. Like if your contract is 6 months, they'll give you like 8 months, 7 months. If your contract is 3 months, I don't know, they'll give you like a little bit more time. And as you know, 2020 COVID happened, so that was a whole new thing on its own. That's a story time for another time. But that is how I got to France the first time. Now, how you are gonna land your first au pair job in France, not really knowing anybody. You know me, I'm here, I'm telling you, okay? I've done my research. So for people that want to go to France or to any European country as an au pair, they pretty much have the same rules, so it won't be that much different with the requirements. So you can go to Spain, you can go to Germany, and all that kind of stuff. First, I'm gonna tell you guys the requirements that you need to be or to qualify as an au pair in France. You need to be between the ages of 18 and 30 years old. You also need some basic knowledge of French. When I went back in 2020, I had no basic, I didn't even know bonjour, I didn't even know none of that. Okay, so that's not really a requirement. When you actually go to the visa application, they're not really gonna ask that. Like, it's not as important, but I do encourage you to enroll in a school and learn a little bit of French so you can get a little certificate that you know what you're doing. But I know for Germany, it's definitely a requirement to know at least, I think, A1 of Germany. So right now, okay, look around, schools or whatever night program that you can learn the language. Definitely it's gonna help you so much. And I wish I did that, but it wasn't really a requirement. It's not that serious, but like, yes, you need a high school diploma. So I hope you finish high school. Hope you wasn't playing in high school. So you definitely need that. You don't really need a university degree, but if you have one in childcare and all that kind of stuff, absolutely it's gonna help your application. You need a valid passport. Look at your passport. Is it expired? It better be valid, okay? And if you're in a country in Africa that is not your home country, you might need to go back to your country to apply for the visa there if you don't have the right papers for the country that you're living in right now. You also need an au pair contract. That is like the gold, okay? You need to find the family, have a contract, because that is going to be required for your visa application. And you also need travel expenses, and that means you need to be able to buy the ticket, because you're gonna need the ticket in your visa application form. You can't apply for the visa and then get a ticket, because like, what if you don't get accepted or your visa doesn't come out? Yeah, it's like a risk basically, because it needs to be shown that you're gonna return. These people don't want you here. That's like the whole thing, because they don't want you here, because they're gonna be asking you to get a return so that they're sure you're gonna come back, you're not gonna stay there, but we want to stay there. Okay. And then clear criminal record. They didn't ask me that, but like, just have one. Just go to the police, learn how to get one. Hopefully you haven't committed a crime. And obviously need to know how to write like a really good motivational letter as well. Can add it in there. So what you need to do right now, because I want to give you practical steps where it feels like I'm not giving you things you can't really use, so right now I want you to start saving money, okay, for your travel experience, because that's going to be the most expensive. The ticket of a return, and you might not return, but like you do need a return ticket and a going ticket. I think that's how you say it. And also you need to be researching insurance covers that cover you overseas for 3 months. You're gonna need at least 3 months insurance. And when it comes to the pocket money that they give you, I think right now it's 320 euros, which goes about 5,000 rands or $350 US, which I thought was a lot of money, but it's really not. The cost of living here, it's definitely not the same, okay? Because you'll be working here and earning maybe 1,200 euros, which is about 20,000 rands, which seems like a lot in South Africa, but the cost of living here, where rent is like 600, that's not really a lot. So it might seem like a lot, but it's easier to save when you're an au pair because you're living with the family. They give you your own room. That's great. And you have a limited hours that you can work. You don't work like 8 hours like a normal person. No, you work like 5 hours a day. And that's how it is. And what you can also do in the meantime is get certificates. This is for a person that's planning to stay longer and you want to be able to be equipped in how you're going to earn money. And so I encourage you to get you a TELF certificate or TESOL or CELTA. These are English courses where you can now be allowed to teach English to kids or adults. Okay, so really research into that. It takes maybe 6 months or like a year. You can do it online and get that certificate because it's gonna help you to make extra money, because then you can have classes online, you can find clients, and it just makes it easier. And you can also use that certificate wherever you are in the world to teach English. Get a first aid course, that's always helpful. I've seen that most babysitting jobs here, they require you to have like certain certificates. It's not just like as relaxed, and also get you a license. Okay, get you a license. And this is one thing that I wish I did and put effort in. Get a license where you are right now. Get a license, and when you come here you can overturn that and make it work in France, because you can't just use that license. You have to go through a whole process to make it valid in France. So get a license, because that's gonna help you. Because usually when a family is getting an au pair, they're definitely rich. That's number one, and they're gonna have a car for you. The family that I had in 2020 had a separate car for me, but it was just laying there throughout the entire year because I couldn't drive. So now how to find these families? You can use these websites that I have right here. or you can go to Facebook. I found my first family, you know, through getting to know a person, and then my second family that I found on Facebook. So go on Facebook and type in au pair families in France, or au pair families in Paris, au pair families in Marseille. You know, type in the city, Google the cities that you want to go into, and you can use that for, you know, a lot of other cities in Europe, you know, and then in there you see their families looking for au pairs, and they'll have the requirements. They'll even ask like, I want an au pair coming from this country specifically, and your country might be there, and you can start talking and, you know, video chatting and really, you know, be smart. You know, there's obviously scammers. There's always scammers everywhere. So be smart. Look at their profile. You know, if it's just like a random man looking for an au pair, there's no sign of kids, there's no sign of anything, be suspicious. And that's the same with these websites that I'm telling you about. There's people that are fake that go on these apps to claim to look for, you know, and you just know, you know it in your heart. You just need to vet, and there's obviously other websites where you can pay other actual agencies, and also be careful with those agencies, because you know there's just too many scammers out there. So I'm just gonna put the ones that I really trust. I'm just gonna put them down in the description, but even then, be aware before you send in your money for them to find you a family. You know, just always be careful. And another thing is that networking, I hate hearing that word networking because it's so hard for some people, but like, go on your Instagram, whatever social media platform you have, follow people that know these things, you know, like me, you know. Subscribe anyway, and then message them, email them. This is what I did. I didn't know this thing, but like, the people that have big amount of followers, they're not scary people. Send them an email, send them a DM. I was gonna say D-mail, but so you are not interested in au pairing. What other way can you come to France? School. I'm guessing, because I've seen my age range here, I think it's 23 to 30 years old. So you're pretty much young and you can like do whatever you want. You can apply to a university here. I know I've seen like a lot of videos when you come on here on YouTube, like, oh, you can study in Germany for free. You can study in France for free, study in Europe. There is no such thing as studying anywhere for free. Okay, there is not. People be lying out here. The university might be a low fees university, but you don't have to pay for your transport. You don't have to pay for where you're living. You know, unless you get like a scholarship and stuff like that, the legitimate things, you will have to pay a little bit of money. So again, save a lot of money. Save as much. If the amount of money that you think is enough, it's probably not enough. Okay, and these universities, they offer free education to European citizens. Okay, of which without green passport, like you ain't getting nothing. Okay, you ain't getting nothing for free. But however, I've done a little bit of research that the price ranges are not that big, especially to public universities. So I think it's between 170 to 650 euros a year, which is honestly not that a lot. But in as much as that's not a lot, you're still gonna need accommodation. These visa people want to see that you can be able to support yourself once you're over there. You know, they want to see your bank statement, all that kind of stuff, that you can support yourself. Yeah, you're paying the fees, that little amount, but like, how are you going to sustain yourself when you're here, when you're a student and you can only work a certain amount of hours? So just be aware of that. And what's even more easier is to do a postgraduate when you're overseas. A postgraduate is so much easier than an undergraduate. So postgraduate, you can easily get an internship as well. And if you are in tech, go on Google and type in La French Tech, and you can get a visa from there. If you work in tech or anything to do with tech, pretty much, you can go to that website and apply, and they have certain requirements that I'm gonna put out here. I'm not a tech person, so I don't really understand what's going on, but if you're in tech or IT, whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about. You can go to this website and apply for a visa there. And if you want to be an international student, like I was talking about, go on French universities, apply for, just apply as normal. It's not that complicated. Go there, it's in English, and then once you receive an acceptance letter, which I think is not, that bad, and you can also apply. What's easy as well is to do speak short now. So like applying to study French, like you would have done your university degree, whatever it is, and you just want to come here to learn French. That's also another way to come here. That is much easier because you're not really required like so many things like to learn French and stuff like that. And that's the thing with these European countries, they don't speak English or like hardly, so you need to learn the languages. It's not that easy to just come here. You need to learn the language. It's easy, but at the same time, you need to be willing to learn the languages, okay? Unless of course you go to the UK, then that's like a done deal. Like you speak English, great, it's perfect. It's a perfect country to go to and quite easy actually. but I'm not from there and I do not have the resources to tell you guys about that. Okay, now if you're in America, okay, you can come to France with a TAPIF program, which is a teaching assistant program in France. It's for Americans, so if you're an American, that is a great program. You're gonna have to teach English. The sad thing is that there's such a limitation of what you can do here if you are from an English speaking country. Like, it's either you're gonna babysit or you're gonna teach English. That's pretty much like half of the things here. You can speak French fluently, but it's gonna be hard for you to get like a job that's more out there, unless it's like, you know, social media marketing and something that's like completely needed, you know what I'm saying? But like, because I'm in these groups, right? And then it will be like a person from the UK who has a bachelor's degrees, I don't know, in science, whatever, and they are working as a hotel cleaner. That is how it is. Pretty much, yes, because it is what it is. Like, you're in a new country and sometimes, you know, the rules, they're gonna take their own people first, so it's really hard to really climb that, you know, that ladder, you know, of like your career. Like, it's not impossible, but it's definitely a lot harder. There's a lot more just unskilled work for people that are expats and foreigners, and it is what it is. You can try, but like, yeah. How I came to France the second time. Okay. Oh, I thought my ring was off, but like, yeah, I got married. Yeah, that's how I came. That, I don't know what else to tell you. That's literally how I came. But it was not easy. You know, people love to say that, oh, you just marry the person that has citizenship and it's just easy to go. Have you guys watched the show 90 Days Fiancé? Like, you've seen how hard it's not easy. It's not just like, oh, card, done. No, I recently got my papers to actually start working, and I'm starting work next week. I'm really happy. I came last year. I had a full year of not working, and I think that pretty much sums it up. You know, so it's not easy to get that, and you need to, and it has to be like real love. You know, you have to find a person and fall in love. Now I just sound very calculated, but like, that's the way that I got here, and it wasn't even that easy because I had to apply for a visa in my home country. It was a 90-day visa, basically a 90-day fiance, pretty much. Yeah, you should watch that show. It's absolutely amazing. And I had to come to France and get married within those 90 days, and then after that apply for another thing, or at least right now I'm not using a visa. Okay, I'm using a thing called carte séjour. That's what I'm using. So no more visas for me, yay, because I'm tired of that. So that can allow me to work and basically start a life here. So that is how I came to France, and it was not an easy process. There was a lot more things that I needed than the first time. You know, banks, it's just like a lot of administration here. So be ready to cry, be ready to give up, but don't give up. It's tough, but don't give up. Don't let anybody here tell you it's easy. It's not, okay? But don't give up. Keep on, you know, bothering people. Keep on saving your money. Keep on bettering yourself and bettering your understanding, and keep on researching, because these people change rules each and every time. As I was reading that, I was like, what? For the au pair requirements, I was like, what? Why do I need to have like learn French? Like, before I didn't need to do that. I don't know now, but they're always changing. So always keep up to date to that. Become friends with people that are overseas, you know, and people are sometimes scared to ask people like how they got there, but like 99% of the time someone's just gonna tell you. I had some DMs of people asking me like if they can come here with like a tourist visa or go anywhere with a tourist visa and stay there. That is the one thing I encourage you not to do. Never ever come to a country with a tourist visa. It's just like you're giving yourself a headache for no reason, okay? If you overstay, number one, you're gonna get banned, okay? I don't know, from 3 to 10 years, and never be allowed to come in that country. So it's the risks, and you're gonna be fined as well. It's just, and you can't even work. And that's the thing with this country, is like, you can't work without your papers. It's hard. I've seen like, this is like the only knowledge I have of America, but like with movies, like it's always like, oh, I have no papers, and they still like get to work and like, you know, clean someone's house. I don't know what it is, but like, here it's the complete opposite. You cannot do anything without your papers, because their own people are afraid of hiring people with no papers. You know what I'm saying? And very cautious, and the government is very into their business. So it's not just like, whatever, I can just overstay and live without my papers. No. You have to do this right, otherwise you won't move anywhere. You can't have a bank account. You can't rent. You can't do anything without your papers. So it's always best to just come here, having your stuff sorted. And last but not least, obviously applying for a job here. And you obviously have to have your French perfect, okay? Have a certain level of French to be able to be taken from your country to work here, and your company can, you know, sponsor you to come and work here. That's also possible, and that's always easier when you've already been ahead in your career in your home country, because if you're new, they don't want to take someone new. They want to take someone, you know, who already knows what they're doing and who has experience. So wherever you are, start getting that experience, start getting those qualifications, okay? And also you can either like find an American company, English speaking company that's here in France, apply, and hopefully they won't make you remote, but like they can bring you over with a visa, with a work permit, and that's also another way to come here. But overall, save your money, okay? Start saving money, okay? The second time I came here, I think I spent about 20,000 rands, and it might seem not to be too much, but like it was a lot to me, okay, and my husband. It was a lot for us. And get your certificates, okay? Get you, because I'm sure right now in your country you can, whatever job you're working, you can save up money and enroll in things, and it's not that expensive. Do your research. Never stop doing your research, okay? Email these people. I'm a YouTuber, email me. My email is always down below. After I've told you this, after I've done a little bit of research, it's something you don't really understand, email me. I will, if I know how to answer you, I can answer, I can direct you to a website, stuff like that. Never stop doing your research. And lastly, you can absolutely do it. Put it to your mind. God, I knew, you see, with me, you should watch a video about me where I said, God, how God changed my life, because I was like, God, I'm tired of this place. I don't want to live here. And if you're in that same situation where like you don't want to live where you are right now, you want to move up in your life, and you feel like you need to be in a new country, you know, you want to level up your life, put it in your mind, tell it to God. God, he says that he knows the plans that he has for us, and sometimes we limit ourselves. So don't let money limit you, okay? We had no money, okay, but somehow it was available, okay? So God is with you. Tell him your plans, okay? He's gonna open up doors for you. What I might tell you might seem overwhelming, and sometimes like impossible, but like trust me, you can do it. If I could, you can. Okay? If I could, you can. So don't give up on yourself. Take these tips, do whatever you will with them. I've given you my all. I've literally said everything about my experience, and so I think in the next video, I'm gonna talk about, you know, my experience as a Black woman in France, and you know, just some tips once you've arrived, because I'm telling you and hoping that you will arrive. I want to hear one day someone be like, I came here because I watched your video and you encouraged me. That is the point of me making these videos, is to encourage you, is to help you build a better life for yourself, and just to motivate you, because I needed a person like this when I was, you know, doing my own little things. I needed someone who understood, someone African, someone Black, who understood the struggles and all that kind of stuff. And it happens, like biases happen where these people see you, you know, and they look at your passport, they treat you differently, stuff like that. It might come, it might not, but like just understand that you're not alone. I'm here, okay? So let's get cracking. You've written things down. Let's start doing this, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching me, and see you guys next time. Bye.